Greetings, fellow scholars. I'm here to talk about week 4, to talk about the financial report. But first, I want to say that you guys have done an absolutely fantastic job. I'm so proud of the work that you've turned in. Your Excel reports are excellent, strong, powerful artifacts for you to use in your digital portfolio. So be careful when you're making those, that your lighting's good, you don't have a lot of sounds in the background. I know I've talked about that before, and most of you did a fantastic job. But a few of the videos you explained so well, but there were a few things going on that would kind of keep that out of the professional portfolio. So I want you guys to really think about that professional portfolio when you work on your week 5 assignment, because keeping your background clear, and while one person's talking, we want to have the microphone muted for everybody else if there's any kind of background noise. So as you guys work together on Zoom, keep all of those little things in mind, and don't feel bad to talk to each other like, hey, Susie, I can hear your dog barking, or hey, Johnny, your fire alarm needs a new battery, it keeps going off. And just whatever it is, tell each other stuff, because when you get to week 5, you want to have that level of professionalism built up. Now that we're talking about the groups and the networking form, I'm getting quite a few questions about the networking form, but many of you have already started logging in on that. Your groups are closed, created, bravo. And the rest of us, you know, this is my first time using a networking form, your first time, so no worries. The Excel report was, I understand, scrutinizing, or that's not the word, excruciating, I don't know, some word that means very painful for some of you. For all of us, it was difficult. You have to keep in mind, I had to go on Google and learn all of those things so that I could teach them to you. So this course is a struggle, a productive, useful struggle for all of us, using useful technology and gaining useful knowledge to better our future, help us become more productive citizens. All right, I know you're wondering, when are you going to start talking about the stuff I need to hear? All right, let's go ahead and look. I'm going to share my screen, and we'll start off by looking at the networking form. Those of you who are already have all of this squared away, you can zoom forward on the video until you can see me looking at folder week 4. But for a quick second here, I am going to look at our weekly assignments, and then of course, Pulaski Tech, you guys look at your course content. And once you get past that point, everything inside of those weekly folders is set up exactly the same. All right, so we're going to either course content or weekly assignments. And I am getting a lot of feedback that I need to make my screen bigger. And I'm going to work on that in my future Excel videos to have the Excel larger. Okay, so let's have a look here at week 3. I think that's when you were required to start signing up for your groups, your teams. So when you click on your week 3 folder, you are going to see under week 3, it says number 1, and there's a link here in the Google Docs. Now, some of you haven't quite figured out that there is a document, a Word document for inside of each of these folders, or a PDF, I mean. And it says attached files. If you click on the attached files, that's where you get the color stuff. One scholar's like, hers is in color and mine isn't, and it's because if you click on that PDF, then you will actually get the sheet with the more links, and it just looks better. All right, so once you have this sheet, you can click here. You may have to copy and paste it, or you can do it from your Blackboard page. So we're just going to click on that. Oh, I should have done it from the other page. Or you can right click and open a new tab. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and do that, because thank you for, I don't remember who that was. I kind of do, but I don't want to say it and it be the wrong person. All right, so I'm back on my link here. If you have a link and you want to open it in a new tab so you can still keep the Blackboard page open, you right click and open link in a new tab. So I appreciated learning that. And once you get to your networking form on the Google Drive, you are going to see a bunch of names and a bunch of instructions. Pretty much, I'm not going to say most of you, but quite a few people have this already done. All right, so once you guys get in here, you're going to see all of the names. I'm going to make this smaller. I know I'm not supposed to be making things smaller, but it's just a way for you to see all these names in here. So you have all of these red boxes are boxes where the teams are full. Teams were for 4 people. If a team chooses to open up to 5 or even 6 people, I'm willing to experiment with that. I did do a research paper 2 weeks ago that discussed that the dynamics, once you add the 5th person and then even the 6th person, it increases the power of the collaboration. So I'd like to give it a try. If anybody's willing to do 5 people, I have one group that already has agreed to this. And also I would like to be included in some communications with a few groups, just to learn how you guys communicate, what things do you say to each other naturally when I'm not watching. And I know that's not really going to happen. You'll still be texting to each other on the side. But I want to learn about your frustrations and the things that you enjoy, the things that you learn even though you hated it. I want to know all that kind of stuff so I can improve this course for future scholars. All right, so the networking form. You go in here and you put your name. Here we have John Tinney. John Tinney is one of our Hot Springs police officers and who makes me very proud. Tinney, you rock. Thank you for your service. He has his name here under criminal justice, and the row is criminal justice, and the column he's in is classmates only. So I asked Tinney today if he would be willing to work with some folks from other classes. So I'm going to, we're going to move him to another column and then kind of look at some things from there. I would like to see some criminal justice people get together in these groups, because I think that when you do gather, I don't want everybody to think you have to gather as your field that you're going into, but especially the fields like the social services or even hospitality and criminal justice, funeral home services. There are so many different careers where you guys could actually make a video about all these statistics and bring in your field, and that would create an even more powerful artifact for your online portfolio. Employers complain. There are tons of papers and research out there. Employers complaining that college graduates are coming out of college with no ability to collaborate and network. So you guys are learning a powerful tool here, and you're getting proof that you can perform this task that employers want to see. So make use of that. Seize the moment. All right, so with the networking forum, we still have another week. We want to try to get in our teams this week, and I'm going to help with that a little later on. I have a lot of grading to do, so I'm going to keep up with that. Math for Teachers turned in all of their presentations on Sunday. I try to keep the presentations staggered, and then I have a lot of you turn in your Excel reports this week. So I won't get to your Excel reports until after I've graded Math for Teachers, because you guys got first dibs last week and they get first dibs this week. So be patient with me on the grading. I will get to it as soon as I can. Believe me, you are my first priority, and I mean that. All right, networking forum. Just keep putting your names in there so I can have stuff to mess with and talk to you guys and ask you questions on here. All right, next, let's see. Naming your files. Let's look at this. When you guys are putting your files up here, notice in every form, did I have one on this form? I don't know if we had anything for that week, but when you go to all your weeks, there's a red name. It says name this file. Please always look for that. Your file, and if you can't find it, you can just look here. It's the last name, first name, module 1, Excel report. Some people put different things, which is perfectly fine. But the thing I need is your name and your course ID for sure in the spring 2019. So you can just look at what other people have here. This 1213, you guys over here, is this Storm? Storm, you guys are 12, 13. That's not a course ID. I don't know which course that is. I can't even remember if it's National Park or Pulaski Tech, but I think it's National Park. The course ID for National Park is always 48 something. I mean, for this semester, it's different every semester. And then for Pulaski Tech, you guys have right here. Thank you, Linda. Alan is here. It says 60S. That's the course ID for the Pulaski Tech course. All right, so get those files named. Now, the next thing I wanted to answer, I've just got a list of all your questions here. I'm trying to get them answered up. I'm sure I'll forget something. The questions are scattered throughout text messages, email, Blackboard, face-to-face. So I really would like to have a Google Drive form where you guys ask your questions on there. I guess that would just be like a discussion board, but a discussion board doesn't work for me because I have to have one in every Blackboard course and nobody can see each other, so I have to repeat everything all those times. So it would be nice to have one discussion board where all the classes can ask questions and I can answer them. And I guess that would be like our networking form. I could put something on the Google Drive, put that on my list. All right, so a big question was for the homework. I had written on the instructions to do week 2, sheet 3. That was because I used to have a cover page. I got rid of the cover page. I've actually gotten rid of lots of stuff. Last semester they had to write essays and scripts, and you guys are not doing as much work as they have done in the past. It's more dense. I tried to synthesize everything. Every question is full of what you're supposed to be learning instead of a whole bunch of questions on the same thing. All right, so when I talk about the sheets, ignore that number. Have as many sheets as you want. Another thing that I had done, a couple folks asked me, can I do one sheet per scenario for my Excel report? And I said no. Well, I sure wish I hadn't said that, because the folks who actually did that made beautiful work. So have as many sheets as you want on your Excel report from now on, and I'll say that in more videos. For your homework, should be week 2, and then your finance week 3 or week 7. It doesn't, sheet 7. Your sheets don't matter, so please ignore that. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then you're doing a fine job also. All right, so sheets are put on, down at the bottom of the screen. On the left, you see sheet 1, 2, 3, and you can add sheets. And like I said, folks are just adding a sheet for every scenario. That's the way I'm going to do it from now on. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. All right, let's move on now to, we're all ready for week 4. All right, so for those of you watching, this is where week 4 happens. Those of you who have flipped through. All right, back to the weekly assignments or course content. Week 4. This is a really cool week because this week, okay, well, ignore the thing that says Team Teach because that was for Math for Teachers. Please look, I would have to go through and delete this from each and every Blackboard page, which I am going to have to do because people will get confused. So please just ignore the part that says Team Teach. That is for Math for Teachers because they do a team teach rather than a group interview, a team interview. And they do it with PowerPoint. It's really cool. Ask me for the link. I'll show you guys what they do. It's awesome. They love seeing what you guys are doing. As teachers, they get a lot out of watching how we work together as a course. All right, our financial report. I like clicking on the actual PDF better than I like looking at it in Blackboard. And of course, there you have the list of all the course videos and all the course documents. And I try to put that on the top of every one of the assignments. Okay, now for week 4, what you're going to do is have a short meeting with your group. If you don't have your group yet, we're going to work on that. Work on everything else you can, and then we'll concentrate on the group, later on in the week. If you can't figure it out on the networking form, I will get involved and help you. And I don't mind doing that, but I just need Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday free to do this grading because it really does take up a lot of time, which I'm happy to do it. Okay, so, well, of course, I give the assignments, right? It's a lot better than grading a bunch of tests with empty spaces that are all Fs, because that's what happens when you teach algebra over and over again. All right, so moving forward, we have a 10 to 15 minute Zoom meeting. That's for you to get acclimated to your group, get to learn stuff about each other, you know, remind each other about fans flipping in the background, dogs barking, lighting, make sure you can see everybody, and make sure everybody's equipment works. If you have somebody who's not working out in your group, then you just have to let them know that, you know, we're gonna go ahead and get somebody else, and that's okay. Because if you have somebody who's not corresponding and everybody else is corresponding, well, then maybe that person can find another group that doesn't want to correspond so much. And there are groups out there for everybody, trust me. I've been doing this for quite a few semesters, not with the networking forum across classes and across schools, but within the class. And with Math for Teachers, we've done it throughout classes. So I've been at this a while. The groups really do work out. It turns out to be a very organic process. You'll see. All right, so have a meeting with your groups. To have a meeting, I'll go ahead and see if I can show you here. I'm not really sure if I can while I'm on this meeting, but at least I can get you to some point. When you guys go to your Zoom page, always click on the big blue Zoom word, and then go to, in the case where you're actually going to host a meeting and you're going to be the person who's inviting everybody, you go then, there are all different kinds of ways to do it. I go through my account. I click my account. I hope this doesn't mess up with my video. And then I go to my meetings. There are other ways to do this. Like I said, this is just how I do it. And the cool thing is, once you have your meeting here, you have a meeting and it's yours. You can make a reoccurring meeting. I don't know if I made this meeting or if it was already on here. It's been so long. But I did help somebody with this today, and they were able, oh, I'm sorry, I remember. You go then to personal meeting room. That's what we did today. So I did help Galloway with this today. Hi, Galloway. And here in the personal meeting room, you then have some options. You can just cut and paste where it says meeting ID and join URL. You can copy that, or you can go to copy the invitation. And then you can copy all this stuff, but it just confuses people. Trust me, I know. So you just highlight these bottom two and copy it. And then you send it to people, and they can either enter in the ID by going to join a meeting. And, oh, I hope this doesn't mess with, and then you just paste that meeting link in there. So hosting a meeting is simple. You just go to your account and then to my meetings. Just rewind the video and look at that again. All right, and so one person in the group would host, and you guys can take turns hosting, take turns sharing screens, try stuff out with Zoom that you want to do. Make a simple transition into sharing screens. A lot of groups put together, instead of PowerPoints or Excel, some people will actually put together Google Slides presentations, and they share it. Whatever you guys end up doing, this is your project. I prefer actually to show as little examples as possible, because you guys come up with such much cooler stuff than I ever thought of, and cooler than the last classes. It's always, each time gets cooler. So keep up with that. All right, let's have a look. What else are we doing here in week 4? The financial report. So for your financial report, you're going to imagine yourself 5 years from now. You've graduated from college, you have your certification, your 2-year degree, your 4-year degree. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Maybe a year or a couple years behind you in your field. How much money do you think you're going to be making? I want you guys to Google that. Just Google whatever your job is in the area where you want to live. And, oh, sorry, wherever it is that you want to live, how much money you would make there, and then decide, what kind of car do I want? How much am I going to spend on a car payment? Or am I going to take the bus and save? I'm from Tucson. In Tucson, we can ride our bikes everywhere and take the bus and put our bikes on the bus. And it's super easy. We don't even need a car. But if you'll take the bus for a while, save up for a car, or are you going to get car on credit? Either one works for different people. So decide what you're going to do with your vehicle, transportation money, grocery money, insurance. Think about anything that you would spend money on. And you can Google budgets, and it'll give you all kinds of ideas about where your money goes, what different bills you have. Your utilities, your rent. Are you going to buy a house? Will you have a mortgage? Do you have family? Are you going to have 3 German Shepherds? I used to have 3 German Shepherds. I had German Shepherds for 20 years. That was one big chunk of my monthly bill on the caring for those animals. So always make sure that you have a good plan. And that's what you're going to put together here. Don't go crazy. Some people do go crazy, and that's perfectly fine. But for the sake of this assignment, just give me a pie chart, a bar graph, show me where that money goes in a pie chart, and then show me where it goes in a bar graph. I think that's whatever I wrote on here. And, so that you can look at it that way. You're also going to decide on your daily schedule. How are you going to spend your time? I pay very close attention to my circadian rhythm. I get to know myself, when my body does best, how many hours it sleeps, what time I sleep, when I eat, what I eat. That's nutrition. That's going to be the third part of this financial report. But as far as time goes, you want to know what time, when you're in this career, what time do you plan on getting up on weekdays? How long do you plan on sleeping on weekends? It might seem silly to plan your week out so specifically 5 years in advance. But the truth is, when you vision that fantastic schedule that you planned and created, you'll start changing it in your mind to suit yourself better. And just by envisioning it, you'll start thinking about it more, and it will become more part of you than if you hadn't thought about it at all. We can at least say that, right? And then the last part is your health statistic, your dream dietary report. You're going to use the internet for all of this. Dream financial report, dream time management report, and dream dietary report. So you guys are going to use Google to look at what other people do. I don't know if you figured it out, but I'm a huge follower of Nassim Hiraman and also Elon Musk and a lot of other people who have done some pretty great work. And I try to look at the different things that they do, what they say, their scheduling, and emulate it so that I can, maximize, be my optimal me. So when you guys talk about your dietary report, I want you to think about how you plan to be eating in 5 years. And also in your time management, you'll talk about your exercise. What you eat and how you exercise affects your productivity. It affects how you do things, how you think about things, and your mood. It affects how you treat people. So all of these things can play a huge part in your career and in your personal life. I'm interested about the dietary report. I'm hoping to see people have a real conscious thought about their health. A lot of you don't know, I lost 65 pounds. I used to not pay attention to what I ate. I ate out of boxes and, processed foods and meats with antibiotics and hormones. I got a little carried away on my health kick, some might say, but to me, I feel fantastic. And it's because of my dream schedule here that I thought about that. I put it together that I was able to become more optimal physically and mentally and in every way at 45 than I ever have been in my life. And I want that for you guys. So I'm hoping that this assignment teaches you some math and can get you rolling on being conscious about your financial, time, and dietary management. And this is a financial report, so you're wondering why time management and dietary? Well, all of that is rolled into your financial report. Our statistics on what poor health is costing this country, let alone individuals, is skyrocketing. We'll look at that in our, I think it's our second Excel report, or maybe a health statistic. I can't remember, but it's in there. So you guys, I think I answered there's no way I could answer all the questions in the video, and I always talk a little too long. But you guys are doing a fantastic job. Thank you so much. I love showing off your work to my boss. You make me look awesome. You rock plus I rock equals we rock. All right, I'll see you guys next time on Zoom. I'd like to put together a meeting. I'm having a hard time juggling all of my time right now. Even though my feedback is not as detailed as I would like it to be for your amazing work, please know that I watched and listened to every single word of every single one of your videos, and I felt so happy and excited to see you guys learning and being excited about math and technology and just bettering yourself for your careers. All right, goodbye. Thank you for being part of this class. It's very exciting, and I'll see you guys again soon. Until then, keep being amazing. You rock.